Overthinkers, what unlikely scenario actually came true that you were completely prepared for? When my friends and I were planning our weekend trip to a remote cabin, I couldn't shake the feeling that something would go wrong. The cabin was beautiful, but tucked away in the middle of nowhere, miles from the nearest town. As we were packing the car, I kept asking myself, what if someone gets hurt? What if there's an emergency? My friends laughed it off, calling me paranoid, but I just couldn't ignore the sinking feeling in my stomach. On the way there, I couldn't help but overthink the scenario of us needing help. I asked, what's the response time for an ambulance out here? Everyone laughed again, but deep down, I was still uneasy. I told them I'd feel better if I had the number of a local emergency service, just in case. They didn't take me seriously, and I decided to let it go. We arrived at the cabin, and everything seemed perfect. We spent the day hiking and enjoying the beautiful surroundings. But as evening approached, something felt off. I was outside when I heard a scream from inside the cabin. I rushed in to find one of my friends had slipped on the stairs and twisted his ankle badly. We tried to help, but it was clear he needed medical attention. I rushed to call for help, but the nearest hospital was an hour away, and no one answered the phone. Panic set in. I remembered that the local fire department had an emergency number, so I called them, and luckily, they were able to send a volunteer team to our location. I couldn't believe it, but I was right to worry. The emergency services arrived, and my friend was safely taken to the hospital. As we left the cabin a few days later, I couldn't help but feel vindicated. It wasn't the worst-case scenario, but it was close enough, and now, I always trust my gut when something feels off.